Oh, yeah, there he goes. No.
This is the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Cut it. It's not recording.
That's actually why I was waiting there for a second. I was like, it doesn't say recording. I've never seen
that error before.
It didn't say recording, so hang on. It's got to kind of refresh itself here.
An error occurred. Wait a moment.
Oh.
Then try again. All right, here we go. 3, 2.
This is the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bet, Jet Wagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here alongside the good sir back in the saddle, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed the Fade 5 podcast. So we got the NBA playoffs. We got the NBA draft lottery. If you really feel lucky, and you can get some action at BetMGM on that right now. And Lundy, I don't know if you saw it. But the most handle that is out there is on the Indiana Pacers at plus 1,200. The Bulls at plus 5,000 have a ticket count of 27.3% and a handle of 24.3%, though they have a minuscule 1.8% chance of actually winning the draft lottery. So if Chicago's name is pulled out of the envelope, or the ball is picked, or whatever the hell they do it nowadays in tonight's NBA draft lottery, I will say this. I think the city is going to be pantsless until the season begins.
I'm pretty certain that for the most part, Chicago is pantsless on most days. It just kind of seems to be, I would just expect nothing less out of that city. We're getting on the plus bus, aren't we? Are we getting on the plus bus?
Oh, yeah, but it ain't on the NBA draft lottery. Oh,
yes,
God.
Yes, it is.
No, you're not going to do it.
Yes, I am.
Really
yes,
okay,
I am.
Go ahead.
My plus bus pick for today, because I just said F it, because I had to miss 2 shows last week because of all kinds of stuff going on, including Friday, where I was on my way actually to your neck of the woods to see my son graduate from the University of Illinois. So I had to miss a couple of shows because of that. Brad, let's do it. Let's get on the plus bus. No, we're going to Charlotte at plus 650. Plus 650 for the Hornets to wind up with the number 1 overall pick. Now, this is a bit of a zag as opposed to a zig when it comes to the NBA draft, because I believe it is now 5 NBA lotteries in a row. If not, it might actually, I think it's 5 in a row, where one of the teams that had the highest opportunity was the team that was selected. So, for example, tonight we got 3 teams going in there that are all at 14% of the odds. Charlotte sits right behind that. So give me the fighting Michael Jordans. I will take the Charlotte Hornets at plus 650. Why? Because this is the plus bus, and more than likely my bus will be broken down on the side of the road.
Well, probably will be, and I'm not going to stop and help you out because you're wasting your cash on the NBA draft lottery. Although the Hornets have a 12.5% chance. You're saying there's a chance? Of course there is, Holy Christmas, of them securing that number 1 overall pick. My plus not nearly as exciting as Lundy's, but better chances to cash, and that is Nolan Arenado to record an RBI against the Milwaukee Brewers, in which the Cardinals, I believe, are still scoring runs from last night. They had 18 in total. I looked at the box scores late last night. I'm like, oh my God, 18-1? What a throttling, what a thrashing, what a smashing issued by really a team that's been the dregs of the keg in the NL Central. But the bats are red hot right now for the Redbirds, including Arenado's. He has hit a home run in 4 straight games, and a guy as well who's been collecting all kinds of RBIs here in the process. He faced Milwaukee earlier this season, 3-game series. He had a 1-3 RBI game. So nice little history there, and a great history against the Southpaw and Wade Miley, who was taking them out for Milwaukee, 9 for 25 with 3 ribbies against Miley. Arenado is recorded an RBI in 8 of his last 9 games. And you throw in the fact, too, that Miley has a career 4+ ERA with a nasty, 1.63 whip against the St. Louis Cardinals. Every turn he has faced him in his MLB career. So Lundy, hopefully that's going to work out for you with the Hornets. Maybe going to pack some sting into your bankroll at plus 650 and win the NBA draft lottery. But I feel Nolan Arenado, an old Lundy favorite when he was made on the hot corner there in Colorado, knocks in at least 1 run tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. With those picks on the board, let's get after it on this Tuesday. And why not make it a Tequila Tuesday with another edition of the Fade 5?
Number 5.
All right, numero cinco on the countdown today, going to a Lundy favorite. He really hates me specifying what kind of hit variety a guy gets in a given at bat, but there is a nice history here with Garrett Cooper, and that's why I'm taking the over. I just need a single one bagger against the Washington Nationals. He records that. It's minus 125, a little bit higher juice, but not too rich for my blood there at DraftKings Sportsbook. Why do I like this prop? Well, he is 9 for 14 lifetime against Josiah Gray, who was taking the ball and toe of the rubber for the Nats. And of those 9 hits, 6 have been of the one big variety. He is batting 643 for you non-math majors out there. In his career against Gray. I will tell that history. It is outstanding. And you look at Gray, yeah, he's got the 2.96 ERA, but the 4.76 xFIP suggests there could be a correction on the immediate horizon, and he's got a pretty low barrel rate. So when guys have been making contact, it's generally of the soft variety, and that plays into this prop in which Cooper has hit in 3 of his last 5 games. Lundy for all the greenbacks. I know I featured this prop, I think, a couple of times already this season on the podcast. Garrett Cooper over a half a single against the Washington Nationals, minus 125 at DraftKings. Fade or follow?
I'll hang with Mr. Cooper. I'm all right with this one. Minus 125. I'll go with the singles. You're starting to bring me around on this whole idea of the single bag shot. Just the one testy. You're just hitting the single bagger. I'll roll with you on this one. Look, it's about the history. And we're going to talk about some of the batting history that's going to come up for me in bonus time. I've got some for you here, including a nice little same gamer that I really like for today. But give it a shot here with Mr. Cooper. Let's see if we can get that single.
Garrett Cooper, a one-nut wonder? Yes, indeed.
Number 4.
All right, numero cuatro on the countdown today. Let's stick with the hitting theme. And on this 2-legger, I need both these guys to collect a hit. Doesn't matter if it's a single, double, triple, or home run. Just touch a bag and find some green space. I'm going to go with Lourdes Gurriel because you always fade the A's, and you got to follow the opposition on any kind of wager it's out there. He gets a hit tonight. And Owen Miller against the aforementioned St. Louis Cardinals. He records a hit for the Milwaukee Brewers. Both those against events occur. It's minus 130, a little bit higher juice there, but again, I need some winners here at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gurriel went yard last night, and he is facing one of the most generous starters, if not the most generous starter in all of Major League Baseball, and Kyle Muller, the left-hander, has a 7.34 ERA on the year. He's allowed 53 hits and 38 innings pitched, and Gurriel crushes lefties. He is 19 for 50 this season against Southpaws, and he has recorded a hit in 9 of his last 10 at-bats. Meanwhile, for Owen Miller of Milwaukee, he's going against Jordan Montgomery. He's also a left-hander. Now, he's 0 for 5 lifetime against Montgomery, who has allowed 48 hits and 46 innings pitched this season, but Miller, nice average against lefties, 10 for 28. High success rate there. It's a 357 mark. And he has recorded a hit in 12 of his last 13 games. So he's a guy that could certainly set the table for the big boppers of the Brewers. So Lundy, Fade or follow on this two-leg parlay. Lourdes Gurriel get a hit for the D-backs against Oakland, and Owen Miller doing the same against St. Lou, -130 at DraftKings.
Well, you had me at Gurriel because I had him in a parlay yesterday, and he smashed that home run in the third inning, so that took care. And all I needed out of him was a hit. I wasn't going for yard. I just needed a hit out of him and got that one in the third. Thankfully, by the way, because he worked a couple of walks in there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Thankfully, he got it out of the way early in the game. Miller, I don't care. Throw him in there if you want to. I like riding Gurriel right now because of, it's the A's. And pretty much you can bet anything against the A's and be perfectly happy, especially if you're looking at overs, by the way. Second most overs in the MLB so far this season belong to the Oakland A's. They're 27-16 on the season so far to the over. And it's because they suck and they're letting other teams score against them. So anybody gets an opportunity against them. Owen Miller, I mean, did you make him up? You know me, Brad. I'm not exactly the most dialed in MLB fan of all time. I saw this name when we were getting ready for the rundown, and I thought, I remember, let's see, Owen Wilson. I remember him. He's been in a couple of movies. Owen Miller, I think you made him up.
No, I did not make him up. As a matter of fact, he's a real life hitter, and this is a real life winner with Gurriel and that unknown dude, Owen Miller.
Number 3.
All right, numero tres on the Fade 5 pod today. Let's go to the NBA playoffs. Right there in Lundy's neck of the woods at Ball Arena, we got the Nugs taking on the LA Lakers in a showdown in the Western Conference Finals. One step away are the Denver Nuggets to achieving what many thought wasn't really going to be attainable this year, but this team is playing at a very high level. They have arguably the real MVP, though Embiid recorded and secured that award, and Nikola Jokic. But focusing on the visitors in the Lake Show, I'm taking the under on LeBron James in 34.5 points plus rebounds. -125 is the juice right now at DraftKings. You look at what Bronny's done here in the postseason. He's been under this in 6 of his 11 games. He's averaging, though, north combined in these two categories over the course of the playoffs, 36.4 to be exact. In the regular season, though, he was under in 2 of 3 matchups against the Mile High City representatives. And you look at what Denver has done this NBA postseason. They're in the Western Conference Finals for a primary reason, and that is defending the glass. They are number 1 in opponent rebounding percentage and allowing the fewest boards per game in that category. And also they have allowed the 5th fewest opponent points per game. This number is a little bit too high. I think LeBron finishes right around 30-31 in points and rebounds. Lundy, are you with me? Fade or follow?
This is going to come down to his points because I think I'm actually going to give this one to you coming up a little bit later. I think he's going to get a decent amount of boards in terms of battling. As much as Denver has been protecting the boards, I do think he's going to have to be sort of all over the place. This comes down to his matchup that I think he's going to wind up with AG, against Aaron Gordon, in trying to slow him down. But this to me comes down to points. I don't know that he's going to get it on the point side of things. So to be honest with you, this is a bet that I would pass on, but I like your logic behind what you're doing. So I'm going to fade Alo.
Oh man, that's got awful.
No, I would pass. I would pass on this one because I think the hook is going to come into play here. Okay. I think he's either going to be at 34 or at 35. And that kind of shit just makes me nervous.
Yar, shiver me timber. Stay away. I'm stiff farming you, Captain Hook.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos of Fade 5 pod today. Sticking with the Western Conference Finals theme, I say Michael Porter Jr. gets at least 3 made triples tonight. It's a little plus money right now. Best odds of business at BetMGM at plus 105. Look what MPJ has done in the postseason in the 3-point category. He's gone over this just 4 times in 11 games, but the volume has been high from outside. He's averaging 6.4 attempts per game and right at the number, 2.5 made threes per contest. And most importantly, and really eye-grabbing, he's shooting 40% flat from distance here in the postseason. The Lakers have allowed the 3rd most opponent-made threes per game. That's why, when you play Golden State, that number is going to balloon naturally. But defending the three, not necessarily a strong suit for them. They've given up 13.8 made threes per game to the opposition here in the playoffs. So Lundy, MPJ, and I'm thinking a couple of these are going to come from the coffin corner there. Over 2.5 made threes, plus 105 at BetMGM. It's a good one.
2 games,
really good number.
It's a really good number. I'm actually going to get seduced by the juice on this one and jump on it and take the over at the plus 105. But I will tell you this, MPJ is coming back when we get to bonus time. So let me just push this one to the side. We'll bring MPJ back here in a little bit. I like this one because of the plus odds. I really do. I think he's good for at least 2, possibly 3. Little preview of what's to come.
Oh, a little bit of a tease. Some naughty Lundy daddy like.
Number 1.
All right, new maroon on the Fade 5 pod today. Let's go with Nikola Jokic. He's a joker, he's a smoker, and he is a midnight toker, but not so much in points tonight, I believe. I'm taking the under on 27.5 points at minus 105 at BetMGM. Look at what Nikola has done. He has been over this in 5 straight games. All those came against the Phoenix Suns. That's why this number, I feel, is a bit inflated. You look at the regular season, he went 14, 25, and 23. So he was under in all 3 matchups against the Lakers. And the Lakers, number 1 among all postseason teams and adjusted defensive efficiency, giving up 1.065 points per possession. So if the good and enthusiastic and energetic version of AD shows up in this game, I think he's going to challenge Nikola. He's still going to be an unbelievable, threat in rebounds and assists. Could triple-double tonight, but I don't think he's going to get 28-plus points. I'm thinking in the 23 to 26 range here when the curtains finally drop on game 1. So fade or follow, my friend. Nikola Jokic under 27.5 points, minus 105 at BetMGM. Will it be a Serbian hooker or 3 from the big man inside?
I'm playing the under on this one as well. Look, this team is not as good if everything is on his shoulders. It just isn't. That's the truth about this team. They don't need him scoring 40. They don't need him scoring 35. They could use a triple-double out of him. And you talked about that one already. I was looking it up, actually, as we were talking. Jokic for a triple-double is at plus 105 for tonight. That's at DraftKings. And I don't think that's a bad play at all. Oh, heck, he was plus 145 back in the last round against Phoenix. Well, I can't remember which game it was, but one of the games I bet him on, he was a plus 145, and that was an easy
game
cash.
5, I think.
But I think he finishes under in this one. I think he gets to 20. I think he might even get to 23, 24. I just don't know that he's going to get to 27 because he is going to have to facilitate. And we know that the biggest challenge he is going to face in this postseason is AD. He hasn't faced anybody that can try to slow him down like Anthony Davis. And so to me, that's going to come from the points side of things. I think that shaves a little bit off of his total. I think this is a well-set number, but I think he finishes under. I think this is a good call, especially when the juice is slightly in your favor.
Yeah, AD ain't no DeAndre Ayton. I will say that much from a defensive side of things. So, yeah, Nikola Jokic under 27.5 points. We're both riding that one. What else? We're grabbing a surfboard on and hopefully gonna hit the crest of the wave. It's bonus time. Lundy, MLB, NBA, NHL. What are you digging here on this Tuesday?
Well, I'm going to save NHL for later in the week. We're on to the conference finals. Those get underway on Thursday. I will tell you that my early lean is give me Dallas and give me Carolina to be able to come out of it and represent going on to the Stanley Cup final. Let's stick with the action over at Ball Arena tonight in Denver. Let me give you a couple of things here. First of all, another plus odds, by the way, just wasn't quite sexy enough for me for the plus bus. But plus 100 is Bruce Brown of the Denver Nuggets for over 15.5 points plus rebounds. Plus 100 odds on that one. So you're getting even money in the total there. In the postseason right now, he's averaging 12.2 points, 3.8 rebounds in just over 26 minutes of play. He is an important role player for this Nuggets team. And if you go back to the regular season, he was easily enjoying these kinds of numbers. In the 4 matchups that he had against the Lakers, he averaged 13.5 points and 4.8 boards. I'm no math major, but that takes you over the 15.5. And so the fact that DK is giving it to me at plus money, I will take that one at the 15.5. I liked your call with MPJ on the 3-pointers. Let me give you this one. All 3-pointers, okay? I need 2 out of Jamal Murray. I need 2 out of MPJ, and I need 1 out of Nikola Jokic. If I get all of that at DraftKings, that same game parlay will pay you a plus 140. Let me give you the numbers. Out of the 11 postseason games that they have done, Jamal has done it in 7 of the 11. MPJ has done it in 8 of the 11, and Joker has had at least 1-3 in 9 of the 11 postseason games so far. So again, 2, 2, and 1 out of those 3 guys. It's a plus 140 at DraftKings. Maybe you don't like 3-pointers. Maybe you like guys cleaning the glass. Yeah, I've seen that commercial for the Dennis Rodman documentary 175,000 times, just like you. What are you thinking about rebounds? All rebounds, Brad. Here we go. Aaron Gordon of the Denver Nuggets. Give me 5 or more. Give me LeBron to have 8 or more. His over-under, by the way, is at 8.5. Give me him for 8 or more. Give me Anthony Davis to have at least 10 boards. If all 3 of those hit, it is a plus 135 same-game parlay for you over at DraftKings. The numbers for you against the Lakers this season, Aaron Gordon averaging 7 per game. LeBron is averaging 10 per game in the postseason. Anthony Davis is averaging a whopping 14.1 boards per game in this postseason. So again, AD 10 or more, LeBron 8 or more, AG 5 or more, plus 135 same game parlay for you. The game that I've really got my eye on tonight in terms of some MLB action for you, the White Sox and the Cleveland Guardians. The
Guardians. Guardians.
So let me give you a couple of things here. Love Jose Ramirez to go over on his hits plus runs plus RBI. So HRR, if you ever go to my spreadsheet, that's how I have it abbreviated, HRR. So it's hits plus runs plus rebounds plus RBI. And for J-Ram, that is a minus 125. I also like J-Ram to have over 1.5 total bases. That one is at a plus 120. Big fan of that one. Benintendi over on his total bases as well. You can get that one at plus 130. But how about a same game parlay in that one on the baseball side of things? This one with a payday of a plus 135. Give me J-Ram to have a hit. Give me Benintendi to have a hit. And give me Shane Bieber to feel the fever. All I need is 4 Ks. That's it. 4 Ks, a hit for J-Ram, a hit for Benintendi. You put all those together in a same-game parlay. It is a plus 135. Bieber has had at least 4 strikeouts in 7 straight starts. In fact, this season, the only start that he did not have at least 4 Ks was his first one of the year.
Wow.
He has done it in 7 out of the 8 games. He's done it, as I just said, in 7 straight. So you put all of that together, that is a plus 135. And you brought up Nolan Arenado, and I just want to throw this out there for those of you that want to believe that he's going to be able to stay hot, which he could at home against Milwaukee. For him to go for another home run in his 5th straight game, I just want to point this out. At Caesars right now, for him to have a home run is plus 290. At FanDuel, it is plus 420. We're talking about a difference of 130 in the payday on that one. So if you think Nolan is going to stay hot, then go to FanDuel because the odds for him to have the home run are way up there at a plus 420. I yield the floor to the gentleman from Illinois.
That is a wonderful discovery, and I may take advantage of exactly that wager because he is wielding the hottest stick right now in Major League Baseball. Let's get the Team Juegos parlay play of the day on the board. Let's do it in the Mile High City. And the representatives from there, the Colorado Rockies, taking on the Cincinnati Reds. I say both teams score at least 3 runs, and they achieve that feat easily in game number 1. And I believe Randall Grichuk gets a hit, and Nick Zinzel also gets a hit. Grichuk obviously plays for the Rockies, and Zinzel there for the Cincinnati Reds. Where am I drilling down those guys? And I'd say like Chris Bryant or Stevenson or somebody else from Cincinnati, Jonathan India maybe. Well, it's all about the history and the matchups. Again, the run score, this game should be a high-scoring affair, period, end of story, because you got a rookie starter for Cincinnati and Brandon Williamson, who at AAA had a 6.52 ERA. They say, son, we're going to give you the call up, but congratulations, you are starting against the Colorado Rockies in Denver. Godspeed to your ERA, which was miserable to begin with, down at the minor league level. And he's a left-handed pitcher, and you look at what Grichuk has done this season. He has murdered lefties. 4 for 7 against them specifically. He's actually recorded a hit in all 12 games he's seen action in. So hopefully he's going to be in the lineup today. Then you look at Nick Senzel going up against Chase Anderson, who's started 183 games in his career. He has not yet, I think, garnered a start for the Rockies, so this will be his first, but a 4.14 career ERA as a starting pitcher. And Senzel has got a hit in 5 of his last 6 games. And a guy, too, was 4 of 8 a lifetime against Chase Anderson. And in the run scored, Cincinnati scored at least 3 or more in 4 of their last 5. Colorado's done it in 8 of their last 9. At plus 270 at BetMGM, an entirely realistic team. Huevos, gigantes, a parlay play of the day. Elsewhere, going back to the NBA, a little SGP for you. I think the Nuggets are going to win tonight. So I'm going to take Denver on the money line, and I'm going to parlay that with Jamal Murray to score 20 or more points. You put those two together, it's minus 120 at BetMGM. It's not, extraordinary juice. Again, it's all about trying to turn a profit, trying to get some winners here. Murray scored at least 20 points in 3 or 4 prior games against the Lakers this season, and 7 of 11 postseason games. The Lakers have allowed the 6th fewest opponent points per game at 107.3. But I think Denver, again, is going to slam the door late on the Lakers, get up 1-0 in this series, and Murray will cross that needed 20-point threshold. Okay, back to Major League Baseball. I have fallen in love with the walks props. So let's do a 2-leg parlay at plus 257 at DraftKings on this one. Lance Lynn, Lundy's pick on him. I am too. Over 1.5 walks against the Cleveland Guardians. And leg number 2, Kyle Muller. You've already mentioned him. He's got 7+ ERA. 2 or more walks for him. Again, that's plus 257. Lynn has recorded at least 2 walks in a start in 6 of 8 turns of the rotation with a 3.45 walks per 9 mark overall. Muller has done it a ton of times this season. I can't even read my own handwriting. He's got a 4.97 walks per 9 mark on the year. I think he's done this in all but 1 start. And Arizona is the 2nd highest walk rate of any team in Major League Baseball over the last couple of weeks. So again, Lynn 2+ walks, Muller 2+ walks, plus 257 at BetMGM or DraftKings, both the same odds there. And then last and certainly not least, I threw this together right before the pod. It's another hit parlay, and it's on the Texas Rangers going up against Atlanta, who is also calling up a left-hander who also royally sucked at AAA, and that is Jared Schuster, who it was even worse than the guy that I mentioned before, Brandon Williamson, in the minor leagues. 8.31 ERA in a couple of starts with a 2.42 whip. Yikes. So he's getting the start today against one of the best offensive teams in Major League Baseball, and the Rangers. So with that in mind, Ezekiel Duran, a hit, and Jonah Heim, a hit. Both these guys have smashed lefties. Duran, 14 for 35. That's a 400 batting average this season. Heim, 13 for 30. That's a 433 batting average this season. Duran has recorded a hit in 14 of his last 18 games, and Heim is currently riding a 13-game hit streak. Again, both these guys get simply a hit against the Bravos, plus money, plus 105 at BetMGM. I'm out of breath. I am out of time, and we are got to exit stage left, so do us a favor. Drop us a rating and a review if you enjoy this podcast. Also, feed or follow us on the Twitter. Check out Lundy and his free spreadsheet picks at Nate Lundy. I do the same at No easy huevos for Nathaniel Lundy. I'm Brad Evans. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.